you know about me is I love talking about money. And it is very rare that you find people who just, and I mean every aspect. I don't mean just like the people who are traders and brag about, oh, I made all this money the other day. You know, they're just like, they're eager to talk about when they win money. I love talking about all of it. Everything from the minutia of budgeting to how you make money, how you lose money, how you deal with money in your relationship, in your family, with your significant other, all of it. And I'm a big believer in people talking more about money, and that one of the biggest problems, and probably one of the biggest causes of inequality in our society, is that actually rich people share information about money, and the middle class tends not to, and then the poor doesn't have enough money to even talk about it, right? So actually, if you share information about money, so I sit down with my friends, I have some close friends who trust me, and we sit down and we actually talk about what's in our retirement account, and we play with the tools that I'm gonna show you today. And it's super nerdy, and it's super fun. And they're like not sure at the beginning, should they tell me or not? And then they start talking to me and they learn it and they're like, yeah, why was I hesitating to talk about this? Like, this is actually a really useful conversation. And so if there's anything you come away with, don't be afraid to talk about money. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Know where your money is going. Know where your partner's money is going. The biggest predictor of divorce is financial distress or disagreements about money. And remember that divorce, not that any of you plan to get divorced, but just an interesting statistics, one of the reasons why divorce sets people back as much as 10 years is usually the financial consequences. Okay, so money makes the world go round in every sense. It is extremely important. Know your money. That's what I'm gonna start with. Why do I care? I grew up relatively poor, not like struggling for food poor, but definitely, you know, I saw my mother struggling. My father passed when I was 5, left my mom with debt. He was not a very good businessman. My mom had the steady job, and she had to pay off his debts and deal with various aspects of the business to wind it down. She was struggling with credit card debt and so forth to deal with that. And so, you know, I happened to be a smart kid in terms of school, and she wanted me to have the best opportunities. So she used to try to send me to these like summer programs for like extra academic achievement. I went to a crappy public school, so we were trying to look for things that could challenge me. And she had to pay for those, and so, you know, it meant extra debt for her and, you know, cutting back on other things. So I saw those trade-offs at a very young age. She also wanted my sister to go to the best college she could. And, you know, my sister got a lot of financial aid. My sister's older, so she went first. She got a lot of financial aid, but still, there's always expenses, obviously, in dealing with college. So my mom, you know, was struggling through that. So I learned very early on, know where your money is going, and, you know, think about it, you know, just very strategically. And so I ended up going into law, but also into the financial sector. So I worked with financial firms and for the government. I was at the SCA, working on regulations to try to help investors. And then at a big financial company, BlackRock in New York, and now I consult for financial companies. And one of the companies I consult for is Morningstar, which actually cares a lot about, like, their whole business model is about providing data to investors and like rating, being like an independent rater for companies and mutual funds, and, you know, giving information that's like investor education, investor protection oriented. So I do come at things from that angle. I tend to write a lot of educational pieces. Feel free to check my website about just all different products. Some of it I write for clients, but I generally write stuff I believe in. So even if a client is paying me, you know, you can check with me if you're like, do you really believe that? If you're not sure, but I generally try to write stuff that I believe in, and my clients are generally aligned with my values. But I also write stuff independently that I just want to say. So that's sort of the reason I love this stuff, and I do a lot of investor education. So that's why I'm talking to you today.